All right. Hey, good evening, everybody. Chris Pate here from the class of 1987. My co-host, as usual, is Steve Rodriguez from the class of 86. As usual, this is the unofficial Bayshore Faith Warrior basketball alumni page. So the interview tonight with the opinions and views of the host are not those of Bayshore Christians. However, tonight, the views and opinions from our guests may be those of Bayshore Christians. We are excited tonight to have with us, I don't even know how to describe it, man. One of the great coaches in the Bayshore history. He's been holding the fort down for the last decade. Actually, not really holding the fort down. I mean, moving the program along in leaps and bounds. So we're very fortunate tonight to have with us Dr. Broderick Day. Good evening, Dr. Day.
Hello, everyone.
Coach. Good to see you, Dr. Day. I'm going to call you Coach from here on out, if that's okay.
Okay, that's fine. That's perfect.
So, hey, Coach,
yeah.
Go ahead, Steve. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, Coach, it's an honor and a privilege to have you. And like Chris said, not just holding down the fort, you've got the second longest tenure behind Herman, and you've got district titles, a Final Four. I mean, you are winning in Hillsborough County, and it's great to see. And all the alumni are very happy. So thank you from me as well for being here tonight. And the first question out of the gate is, a lot of people at Bayshore will know, but we're getting a lot of people watching this stuff. We don't even know where, how they found out about it. So tell us your bio, your life experience, your education, how you ended up at Bayshore. Tell us all of that first.
Okay. I'm originally from Birmingham, Alabama. I went to Winona High School in Birmingham. My dad was in the Army for a while, so I moved around from Germany to Texas to Virginia. Most of my youth, I lived in Virginia. I moved to Alabama. I was a troublemaker, so my mom sent me to Alabama with my aunts and uncles. I had 7 uncles, so it's like having 7 dads, you know. And my mom and dad had divorced, so my dad was already living in Alabama. So now I got 8 dads, you know, with all my uncles. I went to Winona High School, played sports there. I was fairly successful. Went to college, got in some trouble in college, and then I moved. I went to the Air Force. I joined the Air Force. Someone recommended me going to the Air Force, so I went. I went on to be a dental assistant and a dental laboratory technician, and my last job was a recruiter, recruiting while in the Air Force. And after 20 years, I retired, and to make a long story short, the reason why I got to Bayshore is because my son was originally going to Durant High School here, and he was playing basketball. He was at that time about 6'3", but he could really shoot the ball.
What was your son's name?
It's Broderick Day. We call him BJ. We call him BJ.
Saw the videos on you. That's really good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He was at Durant, and they wouldn't let him do the things that he should be doing. They just had him playing in the post and stuff like that, just because he was 6'3" and could jump out the gym, you know. And I knew he could shoot because that's what we had been working on since he was a little one, you know. So he came to play at Bayshore under Pippen.
Right, Don Pippen.
Don Pippen.
We call Dwayne, and I'm not really sure when his name came. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah. Go ahead.
And then his senior year, he played under Herman, and Herman asked me to be his assistant that year.
That's great.
So that's how I started at Bayshore Christian.
Coach, what year was that? Do you remember?
That was 2009, 2010.
Okay.
I did help Don a little bit, but it wasn't like it wasn't a true assistant like I was with with Herman.
Gotcha. All right.
Herman asked me, he knew I was getting ready to retire. He asked me, had I ever thought about teaching? And I was like, no. And yeah, I was working for Hillsborough Community College as a continuing education coordinator.
Yeah.
And that didn't work out well for us. So I went on over to Bayshore. I taught math and science, middle school math and science.
That's great.
After 3 years of doing that, they asked me to be the athletic director, and here I am at Bayshore Christian.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. We should point out, yeah, for those that don't know, and all the Bayshore fans know, and the Bayshore alumni and the current parents, that you're the athletic director there. And we're interested in basketball. That's why we're here. So, that's the main thing. So when you started as the head coach, what year was that?
That was 2010, 2011.
Okay. And since that time, I mean, how many district titles? You got 3 or 4? You got the Final Four run. You've had a lot of success.
I have a lot of success right now. It didn't start off that way, you know. What I had when I first got there, it was it was slim pickings for me as far as having the athletes and having the players.
Right.
A good thing about it is my 2 youngest sons, they came over with me. Okay. That second year we actually played a full varsity schedule. We did okay, but not as good as I thought we would do. That third year, it got better, and it just kept progressing and progressing. And the thing about it is, it's all about getting the right kids into the school in order to be successful. Some people try to tell me that you're letting a lot of kids go, okay, that want to come and play for me, but we have regulations we have to go by. We have to make sure the right students are coming to the school, and we can't just throw anyone over at Bayshore Christian. I mean, right. That's the way it is right now, and I'm glad we do it that way. I pass up on some really good athletes, though. You know, we pass up on some really good ones, but before they even try to put in an application at the school, I make sure they are a right fit for us. You know, because I just don't want to just throw anything over at the school. And being a dean of students, I have to suspend them and all that stuff. I don't want to go through all of that.
That's exactly right. And people don't realize, you know, because there's always the claim whenever somebody's successful at the private school level, they claim there's recruiting going on. And
right.
The reality is so much different. You have to have a certain kid and family that can come to Bayshore that can, you know, be able to deal with all of the rules and expectations of a Christian lifestyle. So
yes.
it's different. And people don't understand that. You can't just recruit, you know, the next guy just a good ball player. They got to be able to make the grades, and they got to be able to have good conduct in the classroom and on campus. So that's very important. It's great that we have someone like yourself and all of the staff at Bayshore making sure of that. I want to ask you if is there ever any pressure of maintaining the school's basketball legacy? And what I mean by that is, you know, the girls volleyball team won 4 state titles. You know, we're still looking in boys basketball, but clearly when you watch this podcast and you know the history, you know Herman, it goes back 40 years of domination. So maybe there's a downturn a year or 2 here or there, but it's nothing like any other school other than perhaps a Tampa Prep or a Jesuit. Is there any pressure that, and I know the answer is no, you're a coach, you're going to make it happen. What are your thoughts on that question?
Well, I never feel pressure. I really don't. It is what it is. You know, I take it as it goes. You know, following up behind Herman is believe me, every time somebody brings up Bayshore basketball, the first name that you hear is Herman Valdez. You know, and I hear it all the time. I hear it all the time. But at the same time, I'm not pressured or anything like that, because I have confidence in myself. I have confidence in the players that I bring in, and we just try to do what we have to do in order to maintain the Bayshore basketball legacy. You know,
So,
go ahead.
Do you think that has something to do with your military background and your military bearing? That's something that's developed there?
Yeah, a lot of that has to do with my military bearing, man. People will tell you I'm hard on my players.
Mhm.
I'm extremely hard on my players.
Well, I like you more already.
Yeah.
I expect them to be the leaders on campus, even though sometimes they are knuckleheads sometimes. But at the same time, they respect me, they respect the school, and they try to do what's right. And that's what really matters to me. My military background, I had a hard coach. I had hard coaches growing up, so I know no other way of coaching.
Right.
I know no other way of coaching. I'm loud. People tell you I'm loud. I'm a loud coach. My voice is heavy. My voice is demanding, and that gets me in trouble sometimes with the referees, just because of the tone of my voice. It's not that I'm trying to be rude or anything like that. It's just my tone, you know. But at the same time, these players know I love them, even though I'm hard on them. I'll do anything for them. They'll tell you that if they need something, the first person they need to come see is me, and they know that.
The great coaches, that's what they have in common, is that their players will go through a brick wall for them. They'll come to them and ask for their help because they know that their coach loves them.
Right.
And that when their coach is coaching them, it's to make them the very best they can be. So that's really great to hear. I want to jump in real quick. We got on Facebook. Nicole Kemp says, "Love us some Master Sergeant, Dr. Coach, Uncle Day Day." I don't know what that means. Is there a story behind that? 'Cause that's a long
I have so many titles, so she put all my titles all in one, and she's like my sister. So I'm the uncle to her kids, so they call me Uncle Day Day.
That's
Oh,
great.
wow. That's great.
Yeah. So jumping into our next question, and this is the one I wanted to hear. Chris and I have been away from Bayshore for years. The reason we thought we were good for this show was because we were there from early 80s to the early 2000s, whether it was playing or teaching or coaching. So we thought we had a good perspective. But we've been away for a while, and all I can do is look at Max Preps or watch YouTube. I'd like to hear firsthand your thoughts on last season's Final Four run, especially that, I think it's called the regional final now. It used to be sectionals when we were in school. That 50-48, nail biter against First Baptist. I think it's down in Naples. Tell us about last year and that experience.
Okay, I'm gonna start from the beginning, really.
Good.
We started off. We had a really good plan for the season. I had some really good players join the team. I had a kid, a 6'5" freshman that had came in. I had a senior, Jeremiah Wicks, who was playing point guard for me. He was really, really good player.
He was not to interrupt, I'm sorry, but he was like a 4-year starter for you, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was supposed to play for me in the 8th through 12th grade. He messed up his knee 3 years, every other year. He messed up his 8th grade year, his 10th grade year, and his 12th grade year. So I lost him last year. So I moved CJ Cruz to point guard. Okay. And then I had the 6'5" freshman, Harvey Wilson, who was averaging almost a double-double. He ended up leaving the program. And I don't want to get into it. He left the program.
Did he make a mistake? Did he make a mistake? Should he have stayed with us at Bayshore?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah. He was a freshman. he was beginning to come into his own. I was working hard with him, inside, outside game. He was not stuck in the post. He was shooting shot. He wasn't my first option.
Right.
He wasn't my second option, and he wasn't my third option. He was my fourth option.
Yeah.
As a freshman, averaging almost a double-double, we thought that was really good.
Right.
Yeah, I gotta agree.
You would think so.
But it was hard to surpass Deion Brown, C.J. Cruz, and David Fitzgerald. It's hard to surpass them.
Right.
But we lost him right before the Christmas tournaments that we played in, and we went on a 6-game losing streak because we had to make adjustments. And once we made those adjustments, and after the Christmas break, we just went on a tear. We played some good schools. We beat them. We played some big schools. Durant is big. Durant is a 6A, a 7A school, and we beat them. And
that's important. And I want to jump in. That's important because when we do these podcasts, there's always a debate. We purposely rank every Bayshore team, and but we debate criteria. How do you end up saying one team is better than the others? And for me, it's always the schedule, who you played, and whether or not you were competitive with public schools shows that you've got real players and a great team. To me, and that's very important to me. So when you say you beat Durant and they're 6A, and that's big time to me.
Yeah. Just so you know, Coach Day, you were in my top 10. I don't know about that guy, but you're in my top 10.
Hold on. Coach Day, let me say, you are that team last year is a top 5 team all time, but I want to wait till everybody graduates first.
Okay.
As soon as that happens, you're in the top 5.
Oh my God, whatever, Steve.
I hear you talking. But with that, I mean, our run was crazy. We swept through districts. I mean, once the boys started learning to play together and they broke down and played good man-to-man defense, because that's all we ran last year. We rarely played zone. We played good help defense. We get out and go. We run.
Do you go all the way pack line with your help side? Like, what is that when you say good help defense? What is that like for the Coach Day team?
We're trying not to let anything get into the middle of that lane. We cutting off everything.
Yeah.
So we communicate very well with each other defensively. Especially from the back sides, because the back sides see everything. So They are kind of like our linebackers. You know how in football linebackers call everything. My back line called everything.
Very good.
We played the passing lanes very well. We reach sometimes when we don't have to, but at the same time, that's just basketball, especially with young kids, high school players. And we started running, and our first option is the 3. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Our first option is the 3. We were loaded with shooters. Deion and CJ could just flat out shoot the ball, and David Fitzgerald could flat out shoot the ball as well.
Do your players have? I'm very interested in this question. Do your players have the green light if you don't have numbers in a transition situation?
Yes.
So it's a 1-on-2 look. Okay, very good.
My players got the green light.
Very good.
I got players that once they get going, their 3-point shot is like a layup. That's for real.
That's completely that's foreign to us old guys.
Yeah, right.
Because we just our system was walk it up, pound it in, burn clock. Yeah, we've got 1-on-2 threes being launched. That's really good.
No, Herman used to get on my case about it. He used to say, "You live by the 3, you die by the 3." He used to tell me that all the time. He still tells me that. But during that run, we swept through districts, and we beat Keswick and we beat Community Christian.
Oh, good.
Community Christian gave us a fit earlier in the year. But you know, my boys, we had a little talk and they wanted to meet that challenge. I told them they had a really good guard. And I told my boys, I said, that guard is not better than y'all.
Yeah.
You know, who's going to hold him? Who's going to stick him? You know, and Deion Brown, who's not known for his defense, he's not known for his defense, but he turned it on. And he locked him up. When I say he locked him up, he locked him up.
Right.
And Deion, they went out on a run on us, they started off the game 11-0 run.
Oh my!
They started off the game 11-0 run, but once
where was that game played? Where was districts played?
That was played at Canterbury.
Okay.
Canterbury over in St. Pete.
Right.
And Deion kept us in it that first quarter because he hit like 3 or 4 threes in a row. Bow, 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 bow. And then that's what got us rolling. We beat them. CJ Cruz and Deion led the way that game. CJ, who's known as a shooter as well, he didn't make not 1 3 that game.
Oh, wow.
But I'm gonna tell you what type of player he is, though. He knew they couldn't stay in front of him, so he took everything to the basket.
That's good.
And they couldn't stop him.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we played. We had beat Keswick that night before, and then we beat Community Christian, and then that was the district championship game.
Great.
So,
excellent.
And we weren't satisfied right then. We weren't satisfied, you know.
Right.
So our next game was our rival, well, used to be rival, Cambridge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really like thinking of them as a rival. They can't hold our jock strap as far as I'm concerned. I'm sorry, Coach. I'm sorry.
They had my number for a few years though.
Yeah.
Cambridge had when I was growing, they had my number for a few years, you know.
That makes it more glorious that you got them.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you something. That game, I think we probably missed maybe 5 or 6 threes.
Oh wow.
Everything else
I'm
went in the basket. I'm telling you, all my boys were hot that game.
Yeah.
It's good to see everyone hot that game, because no matter when we swung the ball, no matter which way it went, it was flying and it was going in.
Good. That's awesome.
It was going in. And then we had to play. Before we got to Cambridge, we actually had to play Universal. And Universal, we beat them pretty handedly. Then we got Cambridge, and then we had to go down to First Baptist.
Right.
Faith Baptist, First Baptist, I forget, First Baptist down in Fort Myers area. And no one gave us a chance. No one gave us a chance, man. When I was calling coaches who had played First Baptist, they were all, y'all better be ready for them. They are really, really good. And I mean, they're kind of like really downplaying us, like we couldn't play or anything like that. And that made me really mad.
Exactly.
You know, I'm like, I got players too, you know.
It's funny, I don't know why they thought that, because when I watch the video on YouTube, I see our personnel as better, and I saw your coaching adjustments as better. I thought the only reason the score was close, the crowd being on their home floor, that seemed to give them 6 or 7 points. But I didn't think the personnel or coaching was close.
Man, their crowd was crazy.
Yeah.
They knew all my boys' names.
That's good.
They had girls on the sidelines saying stuff to my boys that I don't want to repeat. I'm telling you, it was crazy. And
The
and
hypocrisy of those Baptists.
exactly.
Jezebels.
And I mean, and they were cocky. I mean,
Yeah.
they were extremely it was like a little ESPN thing going on. They were loud, they were noisy, and they went up on us. I think at one point they went up on us 14 points.
Oh,
at
goodness.
one point. At
Yeah.
one point. And they had a good first quarter. We kind of like walked them down the second quarter. CJ started getting off, started taking boys to the basket, getting N1s. Dion hit a 3-pointer, and David Fitzgerald, I mean, he was just rebounding. And Adrian Barber, who's playing for me this year,
Oh,
I mean,
great.
he made some key baskets for us. He was our one and only post player, really.
Okay.
And they were kicking it. They were getting to the basket and dishing out to him. He made a few layups and stuff like that. But between him and David Fitzgerald, they were battling with those boys. Cause they had, I think, a 6'7", a 6'5", and another 6'6". You know, playing in that post.
They had some size. They had some size.
They had some size.
I liked our skill way better, but they did have some size. That's true.
And and when we went into halftime, you know, they had us in like in a big classroom, and they had written on our board, y'all might as well go home. First Baptist has already won this game. I mean, and I was the first one in the room, so I tried to erase it before the boys got in there, but some of them had saw it. And
I almost have I have a begrudging respect for their fans.
Yes, some of the boys had saw it, but the rest of the boys were like, what was that, coach? What was that? I was like, I said, it doesn't matter. I said, let's get on out here and let's kick their butts. We made some adjustments, you know, and third quarter came. They made a run in the beginning of the third quarter. So we had to walk them down again. And the best move, I didn't even make the move. They had a 6'5" guy who's playing I think he's playing at Tulane right now.
Wow.
He's playing somewhere, Tulsa, Tulane, something like that. He was really good. But Dion Brown said he made Dion wanted to guard him.
So Dion does it again.
Dion is only 6 feet, 6'1", about 6'1". But he was a little pest on him, you know. Dion likes to reach a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and if you put that ball out there, he's gonna try to get it, you know. And he locked him up. The boy didn't even want to dribble anymore.
Great.
He didn't even want to dribble, you know, and we're slowly walking them down. We slowed it. The next thing you know, we're only down one. I think 1 or 2. No, we were down 1, and I called timeout. I draw up a play for CJ, Dion, and David to be on the same side of the court. Well, they overplayed that side of the court, so CJ went around the right side and made a layup. We got the lead.
That's good, yeah.
We got the lead. They came back. They missed 2 free throws, I think. And then they fouled CJ on the 3-point shot or something like that. And then now we got the lead. And now we're playing the clock. I'm trying to outcoach this guy now. And defense and rebounding, I made an adjustment. I don't know if did y'all play for Herman?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Y'all remember the old angle defense?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But the two, once he crossed the court, 2 guys trapped.
Yep.
Well, I took that and I ran that the last 2 or 3 minutes of the game.
Do you still call it angle?
Yeah, I call it angle. Most of the time, I just do a symbol. I only have I just scream A to the boys, and I do like this.
Yeah.
And they know what to do.
That's good.
And we end up winning that game, and that was the best trip on the way home. I could not sleep that night. And
Coach,
that was that game.
You should know, Coach. That's Chris is making fun of me for not having that team in the top 10. They will be in the top 10 once they graduate. But we've got a top 10 games coming up episode, and that game is in the top 5 for sure. Because what a great win. I mean, under your leadership, thank you so much for you and the kids getting that win for the school. That was a great win. So before we leave last season, though, finish up with real quick, the Final Four game, was it what you expected? Was the opponent, I don't even remember, did they ended up winning it or finishing second? What happened in the Final Four?
Well, Orlando Christian Prep, they were really big, a really big team, and they were ranked in the top 100 in the nation.
Right.
Oh, wow.
So, and they thought they was just going to have a cakewalk against us as well. You know, and they started off good as well. But then we started I think at halftime we were down 12.
Yeah, so I remember.
But CJ Cruz had gotten foul trouble. They had given him 2 fouls that he really didn't deserve. And they were both charges. You know, guys were going up under him.
Right.
You know, and usually if a guy gets 2 fouls from me, they're sitting the rest of the half. But I stuck him in there going against what I believe, and he picked up a 3rd foul, being aggressive offensively. Came back out that 3rd quarter, we're down 12, 11 or 12, something like that. And he went ballistic. Yeah. CJ went ballistic. I don't know if y'all saw the game, but he hit, I think at one point, 4 or 5 threes in a row. Wow. With people in his face.
Right. Yeah. I saw the YouTube video. It was an unbelievable.
Yeah. And I think they felt it coming, and they gave him his 4th foul. Fourth foul. And then in the beginning of the 4th quarter, they fouled them out. Yeah. I honestly believe if he doesn't foul out, we beat Orlando Christian Prep.
Wow.
And then you presume you win the state title.
Yes.
Because that was the best team.
Yes.
Coach, that was a glorious Final Four run. And people don't realize, going back to 1982 when Herman arrived, we're talking about 8 Final Fours in 38 years. There's only, I think Tampa Prep has been to 9, Jesuit's been to 13. And of course, there's some public schools like Hillsborough and Plant that, like, before World War II, there was only like 2 high schools. So I mean, in the modern era, there is no one that comes close to 8 Final Fours within 40 years. And we can't thank you enough for what you did with those kids last year. And now we're going to move the question to this year. Before we do that, there's a bunch of talk on Facebook. One, I'm going to call her Amanda K. I knew her as Amanda Bush. Neither one of us know how to pronounce that last name. Sorry,
Amanda. Bonza, or
there you
like
go.
that.
Thank you.
She says she wants one of those hats. Brian Boyard says you're the man. Amanda again says we need these hats. And then
feel like I'm gonna have to order some more hats.
Right.
I'll tell you what.
Perry Anderson from the class of Perry's probably 92 or 93. It says we need an alumni store so we can buy one. So everybody's really in, and that's, it's the thing. John Arville wanted me to tell you this. John Arville was class of 85. He played on Herman's first Final Four team. He said to tell you, like Chris and I, we're all out here alumni, and if we can't be in Tampa, we're still following you guys and cheering you and praying for your success. So we certainly love what you guys are doing for the school.
Well, we appreciate that support. We really
do. Absolutely. Turn our attention to 2020. Travel ball, sort of has changed basketball in many respects. Your guy, CJ Cruz, you've mentioned him several times in the show. My 17 and under team, not mine, I'm the director of a travel program, played his travel team, and he went off. And, as you know, the video is everywhere. You've got a legitimate Division I guy. So talk about him, talk about Fitzgerald. So we want to know each player all the way down to the 10th guy and what his strengths are and what you expect him to contribute. But tell us about any of these guys, what colleges are looking at them, what you expect for their future. And then, of course, talk about 2020. What's on the schedule? What games do we circle? And, Coach, are we finally getting the state title this year?
That's what I'm hoping for. I mean, David Fitzgerald's not with me anymore. He's doing a prep year he graduated last year, and he's doing a prep year at Mount Bird.
Okay, that's
Mount
nice.
Bird. Yeah.
Yeah.
But all the rest of everybody else is coming back. Besides, I had a guy, Nate Fernandez. He came in and played for me. He was mainly a defensive player. So I lost him and David last year.
Okay.
From last year's teams, but this year.
Oh, before you keep going, Coach, I'm sorry to interrupt again, but Tree White, he wants a hat as well. And
only if he bring his son over to me.
You tell him he don't get the hat. If it's
You're going to pass, Coach. I guess you already knew how to do that.
Hey, Tree, you want one of these? Bring your son to me.
Tree, that's exactly. I hope you're listening, Tree. Come back home.
Tree
Tree owes us a year anyway. He didn't give us a speech for a year. For that senior year, he had to leave.
Yeah, because that would have been another state title if Tree comes back.
That's right.
Anyways,
Right,
Coach, I'm sorry to interrupt, Coach.
I'm just messing with you, Tree. I don't want nobody saying I'm recruiting or anything like that.
No illegal recruiting. Amanda Bush says she's working on Tree as well. So, Coach, 2020, 2021, tell us what's up.
2020, man, right now, to be honest with you, I got a lot of young players. I'm going to start with my young players first. I got a lot of guys that came in for this year. Not expecting me to be like I am. I'm mellow, but at the same time I'm aggressive. I think practices are for coaches. Practices are for coaches. Games are for players.
Very good.
I take over practice. If we practice, I expect practice to be extremely hard. So games will be easy. That's the way
Right.
I coach.
Yep.
And some of them are just now getting used to me. Because they're used to the smiling Coach Day, talking to them, joking with them, or whatever, having fun during lunch or whatever. But then we get between those lines, I turn to a totally different person, and
Right.
That's just the way I am, I expect perfection on the basketball court. But I have a kid whose brother played for me years back, Jace Humphreys. He's a homeschool kid. He's left-handed, and I think with some work and development, that he's going to be a pretty decent player.
What year is he?
He's only in 8th grade.
Wow, very good.
He's only in 8th grade. And then
What was his brother's name, Coach? What's his brother's name?
Josh Humphreys.
Name sounds familiar. He was a pretty decent player, wasn't he?
Yes, Josh played a year for me. His 10th grade year. And I'll tell you, can I tell y'all a funny story on that?
Yes, please.
Okay. And I don't think he mind me telling people this neither, because I have had this conversation with others about it. Josh played for me his 10th grade year. And Bayshore is pretty small, and he had a very, very successful year for me as a 10th grader. And he decided he wanted to go to a bigger school. He decided he wanted to go to a bigger school, and he had some D1 schools looking at him from Bayshore.
Right.
He ended up going to Brooks to Barlow. And it didn't work out the same way it did at Bayshore.
Right.
You know, that's all I got to say about that.
Sure,
It
sure.
didn't work out.
Oh,
You know, kids don't understand, and parents today, it's even worse. It's about the right fit.
Yeah.
It's not the size, it's the fit. And a smaller school, and specifically Bayshore with its history and tradition, and now for the last 10 years led by a man who has done nothing but win and who is connected to all of these coaches, that's what you want. So that you have that relationship with the coach. It's a small environment. Say, what are we doing about recruiting? And the coach can say, this is what we can do. That's what you want. And parents just don't get that a lot of times. I'm sorry to interrupt.
This is no lie. The same day that I found out that he was transferring, I was in my office talking to my manager, Erica Dienis, and I got a phone call from Lehigh.
That's Division I in academics.
About him.
Right.
About him. Seriously.
Yeah.
You know.
That's tough.
It's tough. It's tough. And I mean, and they brought his brother back to me.
Maybe they learned a lesson.
They know that I teach the game. I teach.
Sure.
Right.
I teach how to play, but at the same time, I give my players freedom, some type of freedom as well,
Yep.
So I think Jace is going to turn out to be all right. He just got to learn to get over that hump as far as working hard.
Right.
Sure.
Young guys come in, they don't know what it takes to get to the next level. I have a kid named Josh Maynor, just came in, another freshman. He has to work as well. All my young guys have to work. Kelsey Comrie, I got a sophomore coming in that came in. I'm tell y'all something, how big this kid is. He's a sophomore. He's about 6'5", 225.
Oh, Lordy.
225. When he picks up a basketballs, you know how most of us just take two hands to get it? He'll take one hand, just pick it up off the ground and just toss it to you. I mean, that's how big his hands are. I have big hands, but his hands are huge, and once I get his footwork down, his confidence together, I mean, I'm expecting him to, step into a role to do more for us. Matter of fact, earlier today, me and him just did post moves after post moves after post moves because I want him to be good. I want him to be a contributing factor this year.
Right.
I got a list of my players, so that's why I keep looking to the side. My next freshman is Jace Drysett. He is he's gonna be really good.
What's his position? What's his position?
I got him on the wing. He's about 6'1", 6'2", still light in the butt a little bit. But hey, you leave him open, he's gonna shoot it and he's gonna make it. He shoots with confidence.
Good.
I call him will shoot because every time he get it, if he's open, he will shoot it. and that's what I want from a freshman, that type of confidence. Matter of fact, last year he was on the middle school team. I moved him up. He made that run with us. He was in the 8th grade. He made that run with us.
That's good.
He didn't play much, but this year he's going to play a lot. Jace Drysett, he's going to be good. I'm telling you.
Excellent. That's
really good. And he works hard. He works hard in the weight room. He works hard skill development wise. So,
Coach, does Bayshore have a weight room?
Yeah.
No, I don't mean that. I don't mean that bad. Like, we didn't have a weight room. Coach Valdez took the school classroom and brought in an old donated from probably Edwards or Harville, and we're using free weights that are 40 years old. It was completely different back then. Y'all got all the good stuff now.
You know what? I'm gonna take a picture of the weight room and send it to you all.
Good, please.
Do you know behind the stage where the music room used to be?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the weight room now.
Great. Yeah, that's where it was when I was there.
Yeah.
You had a weight room?
No. The music room is the weight room.
Oh, okay.
Right. There was
room.
When I was there, it was the little janitor's room next to the
Yeah, no. That janitor room is not the weight room anymore.
Thank God.
We have an actual weight room with stations and everything.
Nice.
It's nice. When I think it was Melanie's second year at the school, that's when we got the weight room.
Okay.
And everyone uses it.
There's a lot of people now commenting about this weight room stuff. Apparently, Perry Anderson was always in the weight room, so he was using the closet weight room back then. And then Tree says, "I feel deprived." So that's really good. That's funny. Sorry, Coach. Go ahead.
I mean, our weight room is nice. A lot of kids that can't come over from public school that transferred over, they look at our weight room they're like, we didn't have this in public school.
Oh, good.
Our weight room is nice, man.
That's really good. Very good. So tell us about your next player. And I want you to finish with the big dogs. I'm going to want to hear about the big dogs when you're done.
I will. My next player came in from Durant. Let me see. I'm gonna make sure I cover all my younger guys first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got all my young guys. I'm gonna talk about Andre Benalcazar. He's a junior. He's from Ecuador. He started for me last year.
Oh, great.
When those guys went down, he filled in the slot. When I say plays extremely hard and will do all the dirty work for you, Andre is that man.
He's our type of guy. He's
that type of guy. Yes. He's physical. He's aggressive. I've seen him during the fall league. We had a fall league. I've seen him get on the floor 3 times in one play.
That's our guy.
Yeah. He's going to be a big factor for us this year. He's about 6'2", 6'3", but he's thick. And very aggressive. And I'm putting to you like that. He scares some people. He's so aggressive.
Even better.
And that's what I like about him. I like players. That's the type of player I was. I was a very aggressive player. Defensively, I always took on challenges, and I mean, I love him for that. I was a little bit more athletic than him, but he's what you want in a player as far as aggressiveness and
sure. I mean, you can make up for lack of talent with aggressiveness and smarts, and just good peripheral vision helps out a lot, and being smart.
Right. So I got him coming back as well, and he's going to be good as well.
Yeah.
My next player is Josh Codlin. He's a player that came in from Durant. He transferred in from Durant. Durant had him mainly sitting in the corner. And he came over to me. He works out hard. We had to work on his left hand because he never hardly put the ball on the floor. He could really shoot the ball. You leave him open, he will shoot it. I don't know if you've seen our most recent videos, but he's one that did you see any of our fall league videos?
No.
I saw one, but it didn't look like a Bayshore uniform. It looked like a gray uniform.
Yeah, we were wearing gray at first.
Okay, yeah, I did see it. Yeah,
he had a couple of putbacks in. He's only about 6'4", but I mean, the last game he actually dunked on someone.
Cool, that's good.
Yeah. We called him. He called that catching a body. He caught a body. No,
Coach, it's a testament to you and our school, because Chris and I came from Brandon. That ain't no walk in the park drive in the morning to get to school.
It's not. I live in Valrico, so I know.
Yeah. So there's lots of other private Christian options, and they're choosing to come to you. That's really a testament to Bayshore Christian School and your leadership. So I really can't thank you enough, and that's really great.
I appreciate that. But Josh is going to be good. It's all about confidence with him. If I continue to pump him up, the more you pump him up, the harder he plays for you. You sit back. I sit back and have a personal conversation with him. This is what I want from you, and he's going to do it. He's going to question me sometimes, but I invite my players to question me. I invite them because I want them to really know where I'm coming from as well.
Right.
So Josh is going to be good. The next player is.
Okay, hold on, Coach. I've interrupted you more than anyone, but Nicole Kemp says, Coach Day, you don't just teach your boys basketball, you teach them life lessons. They've all been so respectful and helpful to me. That's a really nice thing to say. I mean, so I interrupt you, but I think it's good stuff to say. So that's what Nicole Kim says about your kids, and that's really nice to hear.
Well, that's my ultimate goal. It's not just basketball. I want to have these guys out to be good young men. That's why I want good young men to send them out in society to be successful. That's all I want.
Right. I mean, let's face it. I mean, most of those guys are never going to play beyond high school.
Right.
But if you can make them successful in other areas and avenues of life and give them the right, integrity and motivation and discipline, they can be successful in anything. So
and teach them
great
hard
thing
work.
what you're doing. Yeah.
Right.
Seems like you're doing a great job evidently.
Thank you. Thank you. My next player is Adrian Barber, who's another one of those guys that made that run with us last year. He stepped in, played that post player position for us. He rebounds very well, boxes out. He's actually one of my team captains. He's been with me for 4 years. This kid, I mean, when I say development wise, when he first got to me, he was soft. His freshman year, he was soft. And he don't mind me saying that, but now he's about 6'3", 6'4", probably about 210, 215.
You've got a big team for 1A. That's a big team.
We're 2A.
2A. Sorry, 2A.
Yeah. I mean, we're a nice size because everyone is right in that area of 6 foot to 6'4". Everyone is right in that same size, So
it lets you do a lot of things. A lot of things with your personnel.
We're able to switch a lot defensively.
Right.
We're able to switch. So, but Adrian is going to be a big factor to our team because he has that experience. He's not scared to play against guys that are bigger than him, So that's what the main thing that I love about him, because he's undersized playing against some of these guys, and he goes in there and do the dirty work. So I appreciate Adrian a lot. Yeah. Sometimes he think I don't appreciate him, but I had to have a sit down with him earlier this year. Hey man, this is why I appreciate you. You are a factor to my team. Someone has to guard those big guys. Someone has to, pull those big guys away from the basket sometimes. I mean, so Adrian is a big factor for us.
That's good. Very good.
Our next player is Christian Rohrlach. Christian is a high flyer. When I say a high flyer, he is a high flyer. He came from Robinson. I wish I would have had him for more than this year because
he's a senior. He's a senior.
Him and Josh Cotlin are seniors. Okay. And Adrian Barber. The next 5 guys are seniors actually. Christian jump shot is nice. I would like to see him get more assists because he he commands. You have to get up on him.
Right.
But I'm teaching him to try to dunk on people in traffic.
Good.
This kid can windmill. He can get up. He can get up. When I say he can get up, he surprised me. When CJ was telling me about him, I thought, hey, kids dunk. Kids,
Right.
But I didn't know he could fly.
Good.
And he's able to use left hand and right hand. That's what I like about him. And he soaks everything up.
Good.
He's willing. He's willing to learn different stuff. Like earlier today at practice, me and him was going over some stuff as far as staying low until it's time for you to come up, to be more explosive. And he just was like soaking it up. Okay, coach. Okay, I got you. I understand. And he's kind of like Dion. Sometimes he likes to reach defensively, but at the same time, if they could get away with it here and there, that's fine. But I don't like people to pick up silly fouls just from reaching.
Right.
But that's something that we're gonna work on. But I love Christian. I'm glad he came over with me. And his family is very supportive as well.
Good.
The next player is Dion Brown.
Dion. And we've heard some good stuff about Dion already.
Lights out shooter.
That's
Lights
good.
out shooter. I can't put it no other way.
Is he Curry level perimeter with his shooting the three? Stephen
Yes.
Curry? Yeah, okay.
Dion can flat out shoot. Leave him open, you die.
Dion,
He will kill you. He will kill you. I'm telling you. And you better pick.
Assassin, huh?
You better start guarding us at the black lines. You laughing? I'm dead serious.
So we're gonna find out.
They better guard Dion when he gets off the bus.
Pretty much. And you know what made his game even better? All over during the summer, he worked on his ball handling so he could shoot off the dribble now. He's not just a catch and shoot type player anymore.
Yeah.
He could do it off the dribble,
Yeah.
And defensively, he proved to me that he could shut some people down. So that's why I expect from him all the time now. Does he give me that all the time? No, but I expect that, from him. So, me and him have. What's funny about it? He's one of my TAs. So me and him get to have little conversations all the time. Because every other day he's in my office.
Hey, taking that teacher assistant class, was that his idea or yours?
Actually, it was actually Ms. Stenholm's idea to have him in with me. It's not just like a TA class. He's taking a online class, but he's in my office.
Oh, gotcha.
So when things are going slow for him, me and him have some basketball conversations if I'm not extremely busy.
Well, Coach, that may mean there may not be that many basketball conversations because you're a busy man.
Yeah, a lot of hats to wear. By the way, speaking of hats,
Yeah.
make sure you get one of those hats.
And my last player, CJ Cruz.
Oh, yeah.
Who? Never heard of him. Never heard of him.
CJ is a blessing, man. I wasn't expecting him to come to Bayshore, to be honest with you. It was during the summer. I was working. Actually, I was doing something for summer camp last year, and someone said, "Somebody's in here to see you, Coach Day." I'm like, "Who come to see me?" I didn't have any appointment scheduled or anything like that.
Right.
And it was CJ's dad, and me and him had a few conversations, and I mean, he immediately did the application. Well, actually, I had to meet with CJ's mom first.
Oh, right. For sure. For sure.
And then once I met with mom, I guess she liked what she heard about the school, and our meeting went pretty well. And next thing you know, they got their application in, and you just don't know. I was like, oh yes. I was like, oh yes. You know, because combined with Dion, who was already a shooter, you give me another shooter, you know, I'm like, yes, we can spread this thing all the way out. What I didn't know about CJ though is the way he handled the ball.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. Yeah, I mean, do you put him in two-man isolation, or do you space the floor and let him dribble drive lanes? What do you try to do with him to let him be successful?
I let him play ball.
Yeah.
Pretty much. You know, we have plays designed. I run a lot of pro sets. I don't run just plays. I run pro sets. And those sets are set for certain players. If I call your number, that's for you to shoot the ball. You know, I also run the Memphis offense, the old Calipari Memphis dribble drive offense. We run that as well. So, and it's sometimes at practice I tell my players, I don't want, when the guys are scrimmaging, I tell them I don't want nothing but 3-pointers. That's all I want. Don't shoot nothing else but 3. You know.
Do you do that from your personal experience coaching, or is there a set of analytics or metrics that made you decide, like the Houston Rockets, you know, we should just shoot 3 because the percentages are in your favor? What led you to that decision making?
What led me to that is, first of all, in high school I was not a shooter, and I think that hurt me when it came to getting the scholarships that I wanted. So I made sure that all the players that I try to develop, if you're 6'7" and under, well, I've never had anything over 6'7". So if you're 6'7", well, I have had one. But if you're 6'7" and under, you got to know how to shoot the ball, you know. And analytics had nothing to do with it. I think a 3-pointer is more than a 2-pointer. And if you can make it consistently, hey, you know, you can make 3 2-pointers mid-range, right? You can make 3 and get 6 points, or you can make 2 and get 6 points, you know. 2 shots and get 6 points. So, you know, I believe in a 3, you know. But I mean, that if you move the ball well enough, you're gonna get some good shots. You know,
you mentioned Calipari, and he had a statement one time at a coaching clinic that he expects his guys to reverse the basketball 300 times a game. So if you've got 60 possessions, he's expecting 5 reversals, and if you get that, you're going to get that open 3. Yeah. So you're exactly right. When you mentioned him, that's what I thought of.
Yeah. And what, back to CJ, man.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting a person that could handle the ball, a player that could handle the ball the way he did. And what people don't know, he shoots the ball with his left hand, but he's right-handed. And he can float. His floaters are left-handed and right-handed.
That's good.
So, you know, he could jump stop on a dime and shift in the air. You'll know which hand he's gonna shoot it with. You know, and that's what makes him special. His aggressiveness.
Oh no, Coach! I hope we didn't lose you.
Aggressiveness. Are you there?
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah,
you there?
Yeah.
It's not a player in Hillsborough County that can stay in front of him.
No.
Straight up.
Wow.
Straight up. And I'm talking about him and Dion when it comes to that.
Right.
I stand in front of him. If you want me to add Christian to that as well, Christian Rohrlach is the same way. That's you know. So I got really 3 players that could go left and right. it's hard to stay in front of them. And if you try to play help defense, we're gonna shoot that three.
Right. That's the great equalizer of the dribble drive and the kick opposite.
Yeah.
You got the open three.
And
Coach, I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
Go ahead. Well, I just think that we're gonna have a good, successful season.
What games should we circle? Chris wants to go to the Brandon High game, but I saw
I'm gonna try and get there, Coach. I'm 2,000 miles away. So I'm gonna try and get to that Brandon High game.
I'm gonna tell y'all something. Bishop McLaughlin is loaded.
Okay.
Hold your Steve.
They are loaded. They have one of the top players in the nation on their team. And when their coach, he is the coach's son. They were at Blake, and when the coach moved over to Bishop McLaughlin, a lot of guys went over with them. So they're loaded.
Oh yeah.
You know, so that's going to be a big game for us. Emmanuel Sharp is the kid's name. He's good, and he's only a junior. He's really good. And Carolwood Day.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Mike
been
Trigg.
talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike Trigg is a beast.
Yeah, he's a man. He's a man amongst boys.
Yes, he is. He
But
is.
it sounds like you got two big guys too. So who knows? Maybe we'll see a little banging going on that one.
I mean,
So,
Trigg is a special player, man. He can handle the ball. He's not just big. He can handle the ball. And he plays good defense.
Yeah.
He's about 6'4", 230.
Yeah.
But he's not slow.
That is good.
Holding that pigskin right now.
He's not slow. Hey guys, I gotta just a second. I gotta plug in my computer. It's about to die. Just a second. Just a second.
Sure.
I want to ask Coach while he's doing that, when he comes back, I want to ask him about, so we got Carolwood Day, he said, and Bishop McLaughlin.
Yeah.
And I definitely want to ask him about who's the biggest district threat. And then we probably are nearing wrapping up. I want to make sure to ask him why somebody should go to Bayshore. I mean, I think we know the answer. You watch this, and I'm signing my kid up right away. So,
Oh, absolutely.
I'll wait till he comes back. So you and I now got to provide some comedy relief while we're waiting. Just us being on the air is probably enough comedy relief.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I love this guy.
He's the best.
Never met him personally. Heard a lot of great things about him before today, and now, man, his personality, his charm, his intelligence is just like totally won me over.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sorry about that.
No problem. We were saying a lot of crazy stuff about you while you were off the air. Just kidding.
No, I don't care. I don't care what people say about me.
No,
I really don't.
It was all good.
Oh,
We were talking about how great you were, and how if I had a kid, well, I do have a kid, but if I was there, we'd be signing up right now. So,
yeah, I just want to go have more kids just to some of the Bayshore.
that's right.
No.
Coach, we're almost wrapped up. We've kept you longer than we wanted to, and we know you got a long schedule, long days, getting ready for that season. And I wanted to make sure and ask you a couple of questions before we split. You gave us some really good games to make sure everybody watches, and everybody, you've got a roster that is Showtime special. So you're going to get a show every game you go to. So we want everybody out there to make sure you go support Bayshore Christian this year, because it's going to be fun. So tell us before we go what you think is which opponent is the biggest threat in district. And my last question would be, why, I mean, this show speaks for itself, but why should somebody go to Bayshore if they got a kid playing basketball? So district challenge, why go to Bayshore? And then we'll wrap up, and if you could fill us in there, please.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I take every game serious.
Sure.
Okay.
Don't give us the Belichick answer, Coach.
District challenge is either going to be Community Christian or Canterbury. Canterbury has a guard over there who could light it up, but at the same time, we put up 100 every game. We played them 3 times last year. We put up 100 every single game against them.
Wow.
At least 100, you know.
Very good.
And Community Christian has a big guy down there that I wish I had. He's a nice sized guy. So I don't know what they got guard wise, but those are the two I think that's going to give us.
When you say community, where are they at?
They are down towards the Port Charlotte area, I think.
Okay, I know that school. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we play them there in our district as well. So, but those are the two I expect us to. I expect us to win both of them, but I think they are the main ones as far as our district that is going to be our main competition.
Okay, very good. Yeah, no pressure. Me and Chris are expecting you to go 3-1-0.
And
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna be honest with you. As far as me as a coach, I don't like to toot my own horn, but you're not gonna find too many coaches like me that's gonna put in the work to develop the players. So if you want your child to learn the game of basketball and learn the game the right way, yeah, I talk about threes a lot, but people don't tell you how much I work on the mid range.
Right.
Okay. The dribbling drills. I think dribbling is the foundation to basketball. You know, if you can dribble, you can do anything you want. You could get to the basket. You could get the open shot. I mean, it's just so many things. Dribbling is the foundation, you know. So I work on ball handling a lot, footwork, those little things. So if you want your child to learn the game of basketball the right way, you need to send them to me. You know, it's not all about who scores the most points. My son BJ, who played for Herman in 2009, 2010, he wasn't the high scorer of the team. Fred Lewis was. BJ only averaged probably 12 points a game. But at the same time, he was getting 8 or 9 rebounds. He was getting 3 or 4 assists a game, and about 3 blocks a game. You know, so and he ended up getting a D1 scholarship just from doing that. I'm gonna develop every player, but it depends on the players as well. You know, they got to have that heart to want to get better day by day. And that's why I preach to my players. Let's get better day by day. Let's not be the same team we were yesterday, you know. So if you want your child, boy or girl, no, it doesn't matter, to play basketball and learn the game, you need to send them to me, because that's what I do.
That's good.
You know?
And you know, the public, you're getting not only a Christian man and a great leader and an accomplished man, but you're getting a school that has so many Christian resources, Christian leaders. So yeah, if you want to go to public school, you want to go to this school to become a scientist, whatever. But if you want those things, and you want Jesus in that equation, there's no other place to go than to play for Coach Day and Bayshore Christian. I can't thank you enough for being with us tonight. It's been an honor and a privilege. I'm jacked up and fired up for the season. Chris, you got anything to wrap?
No, that's it, guys. Coach, thank you so much.
Hey,
Yeah.
can I say a few final things, if y'all don't mind?
Absolutely, your show, man. You say whatever you want.
Coach, we'll go 3 hours. We're gonna talk, you know.
We're just excited for you to be here, man. You have no idea.
Number one, Bayshore Christian. People are sleeping on us as far as a school as a whole, and I want people to understand that every year, 99% of our students go to college.
Right.
99% of our students go to college, and we're going to all different types of colleges. We have people who have attended Ivy League schools. You know, we have people all around the country, you know, going to different schools. What happened in the past, if you had a bad taste in your mouth about Bayshore, it's not the same.
Right.
You know, it's not the same. And my expectations as far as the school is for steady growth, you know, and I think we're growing. But at the same time, guys like you and the rest of the alumni, I'm gonna be honest with you, I need y'all support, man.
Yeah.
I
Well,
need
listen,
y'all support.
You got to tell
You
us
know?
what you want. My kid plays here at public high school here where I live. And I told the coach, hey man, you tell us what you need and we'll tell you whether we can do it or not. So you let us know and we'll be glad to help that for sure. And all of the alumni that have joined the Facebook page, we'll make sure they know what you guys need. We will make sure you get it.
Okay, I appreciate that. I mean, I just wanted to use this venue right now so many people are watching. To let y'all know, hey, we're in it to win it. We're in it to make Bayshore one of the best schools, not just in Hillsborough County, but in the state and in the nation. You know, I want that support from alumni, because I haven't met a lot of alumni.
Sure.
I met some. I see the same ones, but I haven't met a lot. I want to meet everyone. I want to meet those guys that laid that foundation, you know, as far as the basketball program and academically as well. You know, I want to know everybody, you know. So if y'all could give us that support, I would deeply appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, Coach, it's been a great evening with you tonight. We are so privileged to have you on with us.
Yeah.
You have direct access to Steve and I.
Mm-hmm.
You've got our contact information. We are your pipeline. We're reaching out to all the alumni and trying to get everybody involved. So we will reach out to them. You can use us and work through us to reach them. But yeah, like Steve said, just let us know what you need.
Okay.
And we will do whatever we can for your team this year and in the following years. We are so proud of you, Coach.
One more thing for you, though. We're getting the Pixelot machine put in tomorrow, so all our games will be streamed as well.
I can't wait, Coach. I cannot wait.
But I appreciate you guys, man. I really do.
Well, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for keeping the tradition alive. And make sure you let us know when we get one of those hats. And so Coach, Dean, Director, Father, Uncle, Dr. Day, thank you so much. And we'll talk to you soon. Have a great night.
Good luck with the season, Coach. Good luck.
Good night, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.